I want to say thank you all for tuning in. I just wanted to make a quick video just to give you background, give you the concept of why I have started this movement. This is giving up is not an option. It's not just for me. It's not just to motivate myself, but to encourage you all as well. And you all have been an encouragement to me already. I thank you all for believing in me. I thank you all for joining hands with me. Again, I can't thank you all enough. But like I said, I wanted to make a quick video vlog just to actually give you all more insight and to just let you all know giving up is not an option. Thank you all again so much. From the bottom of my heart, I am humble and I am appreciative that you all are even rocking with me on this, man. Thank you all for believing in me. Basically explain to you all so you all know that it's not just t-shirts that I'm making, and it's not just t-shirts that I'm putting out. I'm doing these video vlogs, but I'm also looking more so into doing motivational speaking. My reason behind coming up with this, giving up is not an option. One, everyone knows that I recently went through a tragic event in 2019 and losing my mom. Definitely one of the hardest things that I've ever had to deal with. However, rather than grieving and just stressing myself to literally death, I decided to take the worst situation in my life and try to make it into something positive. And from this tragic event, I birthed this giving up is not an option. Y'all, it's not just t-shirts. It's not just me trying to just find words to encourage you all, but I'm hoping that me allowing myself to be transparent and to let you all know helps you all in one way or another. But again, it's like I said, it's not just for myself, it's to encourage someone else. I've dealt with a lot, and I've spoke on some of it in my previous vlogs. If you haven't got a chance to watch, please go watch. I promise you, you will be blessed by them. However, like I said, I just wanted to give you a background of why I've decided to do this giving up is not an option thing. Growing up, just to sum everything up in a nutshell, growing up, I went through a lot. And the thing about it is we get so caught up in not sharing our story that sometimes people that's going through some of the things that we have went through or will go through, they suffer because we're quiet. And so, like, I just wanted to speak up. Like, as a child, I grew up in an abusive household. Not that I was being abused physically, but verbally by, you know, the guy my mom was dating, and I watched my mom go through physical abuse. I watched family member go through physical abuse. It's serious. Domestic violence is something I'm totally against, whether it's a male abusing a female, but there's females that abuse males as well. Domestic violence is something that we need to take more serious. And that is something that I dealt with growing up. I've dealt with so much, man. A lot of people don't know different things about my life. When I tell you all the hand that I was dealt, I played it to the best of my ability with the help of God, and I'm still here. And I feel that I'm here for a reason. And long as I'm here, I'm gonna use my voice. I'm gonna use my past. I'm gonna use my scars to bless someone else. And my transparency allows me to do that. I'm probably one of the realest people you're gonna run into. I mean, I keep it dry and uncut. I don't sugarcoat. I don't beat around the bush. It is what it is, because at the end of the day, you know, I don't really care what people have to say, because whether you're doing good or bad, people's going to talk about you. And that's something that I learned a long time ago. But like I said, I went through, you know, the domestic violence. I went through verbal abuse. I went through different encounters where I was sexually harassed, and different things where I was, you know, mentally, I promise you all, mentally, some of the things I dealt with as far as like my sexuality, different situations that I was dealing with growing up, not growing up in one of the best of neighborhoods and seeing a lot of things that I probably shouldn't have seen at my age. I promise you all, I've dealt with so much, and I've lost. One of my biggest fears in life is losing people, whether it's friendships or whether it's losing people to death. That's always been one of my biggest fears. And I've lost some of the closest people to me. I've lost my grandparents. I've lost my mom. I lost my father. I lost my stepfather. I lost my best friend. But in all of that, every single time I lost someone, I felt like that was the worst pain ever. But losing my mother has taught me, you know, life is just gonna throw blows at you, and you have to find a way. You have to find a way to deal with it so that it doesn't kill you. You know what I mean? Like I cannot die here, as stressed out or as you know, as my mind goes and how I wonder and how I, you know, try to figure out day to day how I'm gonna make it. I continue to fight. I found me an outlet, and this is my outlet. So my advice to you all is find an outlet, whatever your outlet may be. This is my outlet, and I'm using it to the best of my ability, and I'm using it not only to help myself, but to bless others in the process. Giving up is not an option. I watched my sister. A lot of people know my sister's story, and a lot of people may not know my sister's story, but in a nutshell, when my sister always dealt with heart issues, and when she turned 18, it kind of escalated, and it escalated quickly. She's had a pacemaker. She's had to have that replaced several times. She's dealt with different things where she had to have an LVAD. And she even, you know, I remember like yesterday, I have the date tattooed on my arm, August 28th, 2016. We got the call that she had finally got a heart. They had finally got a heart for her. She went through the heart transplant. And you know, it was a happy moment, but at the same time, even with having that heart transplant, she has continued to go through different health issues. She's currently in the hospital, but she fights. You know, I looked at her a long time ago, and I told her, I don't know how you deal with it, but that's how I know that God gives you what you can handle. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I probably couldn't have survived in the things that she had to deal with, and she probably couldn't have survived in the things I've had to deal with. So our story is our story. But she hasn't given up, you know, she has been my encouragement over the years. And just watching her story and being there with her and to see some of the things she's dealt with, I told myself giving up is not an option, and she's told herself that several times. And so I'm going to insert a quick video here for you all from my sister. As I said, she's in the hospital, Vanderbilt. But listen, man, I just want you all to be blessed. I want you all to be encouraged, and she knows as well. She knows my heart. And like I said, she is my encouragement, and I encourage her as I can. You know what I mean, and my family, and as we still deal with the loss of my mother, because it's still very fresh, and I don't think it's something that you get over. I don't think it ever gets better. I think you just get better in dealing with it, and I'm taking it a day at a time. But like I said, I want to insert this quick video for you all from my sister, all right?
Hi, everyone. Right now, I just wanted to come in and say how I feel about never giving up. I wanted to give up several times after finding out that my heart was bad, but I didn't. I kept pushing and pressing only because of God. I called my sister one day many years ago, before I got to the stage that I'm in right now. I called her and I said, I'm scared. And she was going through becoming a minister at the time. And I'd never tell her or show her any of my emotions or The times I would go to the doctor or any of those things, because that was my baby. It's like my child. But this time I did. I was going to have another surgery, and I had to tell her. I was breaking down. I was living in another state. She's everything to me. So I told her I'm scared. And she said, "Look, why don't we just pray?" And we prayed, and it was awesome. We prayed, it was awesome. And then she told me, "Don't do this to me. I can't make it without you. Don't ever leave me." And I remember a time before that I had to tell her the same thing. But I won't tell when that was, but I've had times, or a time, to where I've told her I couldn't make it without her. And now that Ma passed, we really see that we need each other. And I keep trying to push that how much I need her, and I'm wanting to touch in on this video only because I have I'm in the hospital now, and I have 2 infections. One is the staph infection. One is a VRE infection. I also have CV, which is called cardiovasculopathy. And I also have a valve that's leaking. And I'm in rejection. My heart transplant is rejected. But I made a promise to myself, to God, my sister, and my children, that I would never give up. So I'm still fighting. Even though I'm as swollen as I am because of steroids and all the fluids they've put in me, I'm getting up. I'm pressing. I'm getting out of this bed. This ain't real life. This is just a moment that somebody else put me in here to make me not believe that God is real, and I'm going to get out of here. I'm getting out. I'm going home. It's going to be all good again. God gave me like 25 lives, and I'll let her touch on that. But I just want to show you all who I am, and to say, never, ever, ever give up. There's
I just
always
wanted to
purpose
touch
in
on the
life.
time that she is speaking of when she told me that she needed me and she didn't want me to give up. Basically, that is the time where I had went through so much in life that I had actually tried to give up, and I had lost my best friend, and as I spoke about before, dealing with confusion about my sexuality, and I turned to suicide because I felt like that was the only option. I felt like I didn't want to deal with life anymore. And so I tried to give up. And I remember that moment that she's speaking of, her and my mother both telling me that they needed me. I remember God allowing me to feel the pain that they felt in that moment. And I promised God that very moment, if he brought me out of that I would never try that again, no matter how hard life got. And I have kept that promise and never, so many times to give doctor basically prepared us for the worst, told us to expect the worst, told us that this is what it was. And however, we kept praying. We didn't just give up and accept the doctor's diagnosis. And that's what she meant by God's giving her 25 lives. I talk to her about that all the time. But in that, she's never given up, and she's continued to press, even now, even while she's going through rejection. She is continuing to press. And that's what it's about. We're here to encourage each other, and we're here to encourage you all. Listen. Don't be silent. Speak out. You have a voice for a reason. Speak out. You have a voice for a reason. You've went through some things that you went through for a reason. Don't allow someone else to give up on life when they're dealing with something that you've went through. Find a way to encourage them. And like I said, this not giving up is giving up is not an option. I promise you all, I'm reaching out to the people who have went through bullying, people who have gone through whether they've been incarcerated, did time in jail, and they're still here, and then they get out and feel like society doesn't give them a fair chance. Listen, I've seen all of that. And like I said, I'm here to encourage you all. Whether you are a survivor of breast cancer, survivor of whatever life have thrown at you, we are all a survivor in one way or another. But there's people who have dealt with, who have beat different cancers, and there's people who have not beat it. And my prayers and heart go out to you all's family as well. My grandmother had breast cancer. She was a survivor. However, my grandma has since passed. But even dealing with great losses like that, I just want you all to find encouragement. I want to encourage you all. Like I said, I want to be as transparent as I can and help you all find encouragement and not giving up. Whether you're a single mother out here trying to raise your kids on your own, or a single father out here trying to raise your kids on your own, I just want you all to be encouraged. Life has a way of knocking the hell out of us. And I think after you get to a certain age, you realize that. And a lot of these young kids out here now, they're dealing with so many things, and we're not naive to what they're dealing with, but at the same time, when we was younger, it wasn't on the level that they deal with it now. But how do you expect these kids to make different decisions when we're not helping them anymore? It's like we've gotten quiet to the things that our teenagers deal with. And it's not fair to them, because we look down on them and we judge them for the choices they make. But what are we doing to help them make different choices? So like I said, that's what I'm using this platform for. From babies up to the oldest person you get living and walking the face of the earth, man. I just want to be encouraged, an encouragement to you all. I want to listen. Like I said, my story isn't your story, and your story isn't my story. But at the end of the day, if we can find a way to encourage each other, why not do that? Stop looking down on people. Stop trying to fight people or belittle them because they don't go to church. Some people, you don't know why they don't go to church. You don't know why they choose not to go to church. So don't beat them up. However, love on them. You know what I mean? Don't look at a person, look down on a person because they sin different than you. Your sin is not my sin and my sin is not yours. But at the end of the day, we're all sinners. So stop turning your head to these people that's actually going through things because you feel like they sin different than you. Stop judging them. But as I said, I'm not going to get on the soapbox. This video was basically just to let you all know why I'm doing what I'm doing and why I'm taking a stand. If I got to take a stand all by myself, I'm going to take that stand, and I'm doing it just to bring something positive, man. Not just bring something positive to Huntsville, Alabama, but everywhere. Anywhere I can go, motivational speaking, whether it's in schools, whether it's at school campuses, whatever, church events, whatever I can do, I'm going to do it. I have a voice and I'm going to use it. And I'm not going to allow my past and my testimony and the things I've went through to cause me to feel like I'm less than, or I'm not as good as the next person. I'm not going to do that. Listen, it took me going through some things to get to this point, but like I said, I'm here and I'm here to stay. And it's not just t-shirts, it's not just words, and it's not just me saying whatever. It's a movement. For real, it's a movement, and not just from Huntsville, Alabama, but I'm trying to go wherever I can and everywhere I can to use my voice while I'm still here. Because regardless of what I'm going through, regardless of what I'm facing, I can't die here. I cannot die here, and you can't either. So don't lay down and be depressed and be stressed, man. Find a way to shake it off and find a way to move forward. I promise you, doesn't matter who didn't choose you. That's why God chose you. You all be encouraged. And as always, I pray that you all continue to be a blessing, and I pray that you all continue to be blessed. Thank you.